Smart 24, driving business.
Well, it's yet another beautiful morning, and welcome to Smart Means Business. Andrew Barije, your host today, being the Friday of November of the 8th. That is 2024, and definitely we're hitting up this year quite so hard. A lot has happened. The what we should more suspicious. I was inspired to match with Uganda. We see this on the result of to see, to hear from him, and I believe, and why I picked this, it's because cryptocurrency isn't an American ideology or a Western ideology, but it's a global ideology, because we see people today that are trading cryptocurrencies in Uganda, growing on a large scale. So we need to understand in such a period, because it will be very crucial when it comes to guiding the crypto community, most especially when it comes to making the right decisions. You know, some people don't know actually how to relate with the trend and make decisions based on that. So that's something that's one of the areas that we shall be exploring at the end of the day. But well, before I proceed on that, let's take a look at what's making headlines that is within the local press. Well, heading straight into here, I have the Daily Monitor and the New Vision as usual. And of course, taking a look at the Daily Monitor here, as President Museveni says he's embarrassed by the coffee bill fight. Of course, President Museveni of course, he addressed the nation and lashed in regards to that. And those are part of the issues that he cited out. And of course, the raid on Parliament, as we see, as reports that journalists were actually sent away and lights were switched off to give a shouting group enough cover to pronounce on the opposition members of Parliament on Wednesday, and have pushed Parliament leadership to a defensive corner, of course, claiming the strangers were actually police officers attached to the house. So that is something we see. And who are they? Well, a lot has been put here. So when you grab yourself a copy, you'll be able to find out as a result of that. Now, two teachers sentenced over vending primary living examinations papers as Kayunga head teacher is arrested. There is something in there, and the President Museveni says that those opposed to the rationalizing of the Uganda Coffee Development Authority are in disgrace to the country because it was a parasitic agency, is what the President really says. As a result of that, I don't know what you really think. Now, a woman to serve 35 years for feeding baby on feces and urine. This is so absurd. Of course, the Chief Magistrate Aloysius said that the character of the convict is not fit for the society. Well, maybe perhaps he needs to get to a psychiatrist hospital. I mean, we're living with people with a number of problems in society. And, well, when you see people get off, a lot has to be done because, as far as I know, the recent mental illness report, it was clearly revealing that at least about 30% of people have mental related disturbances. So what does that really mean? That is, of course, being in such a state, it's very hard for you to think innovatively, productively. And of course, at the end of the day, now what she's doing is actually, this is social injustice to the young child. Now, of course, here we see in other stories how government will absorb staff from merged agencies. A lot has been put here on the discussions on how it will be conducted. And of course, who invaded Parliament during coffee bill debate? This is something here. Of course, the chaos kicked in with members of Parliament Zake and a cold scuffle with the Speaker among suspending the House, sitting for 30 minutes. Of course, soon after resumption, Mr. Among suspended 12 members of Parliament. But we see that some resisted existing, of course, and the chamber was thrown into the partial darkness. Yes, as the lights went off and the force stormed that chamber. Yeah, so there is a lot for you to find out and the image of what actually really transpired. And in other stories, why the Parliament won't probe Zake beating. Yes, a lot has been put. And of course, how the coffee bill sailed smoothly. A lot has been put in there. And of course, still in other national news, lawyers clash over digital evidence in the Katanga case. Of course, according to the defense and prosecution lawyers yesterday, locked horns on whether the report containing, that is the findings on the CCTV footage obtained at the residence of the late businessman, that is Henry Katanga, alongside information extracted, that is from various mobile phones, picked from the same residence, should be allowed in court. And of course, this was after the defense team objected to it on grounds that said electronic gadgets were actually grabbed without a valid court order, contrary to the Computer Misuse Act. So there is a lot here that has to be. Now, of course, still in other news, Uganda fast becoming a premier mice destination. Of course, talking about the mice industry, a 12-week mice training program provided, of course, here by Events Academy Africa in partnership, that is with the Uganda Tourism Board and the and the Uganda Convention Bureau. Of course, the Private Sector Foundation Uganda and Competitive Enterprise Development Project, of course, kicked off 30th September 2024. Yeah, so that's what we are observing here. And now, of course, still in other national news, double taxation taking toll on small businesses. It's actually taking a huge toll. Of course, the Equal Opportunities Commission wants tax policy reviewed. That is to protect the citizens from unfair high taxes. So a lot has been pulled out here as you grab yourself a copy that is of the New Vision. And of course, from the comment section, somebody here says that safeguard access to information and safety of journalists. Yes, a lot has been put here. And of course, there is a question here, a very big one, that are Ugandans economically marginalized in their own country? That is a question that needs to be addressed and answered. And of course, here we see that corruption destroys our natural heritage. How does it do that? There is a lot that has been listed into the opinions. And of course, reporting members, MPs fist fight in Parliament. A lot has been written just to, to find out. And a thought for Ugandan voters as you make sense of the United States election. And of course, we know for sure what Uganda will be like with the dissolution of the Uganda Coffee Development Authority. This is what the writer still proceeded to add in. And the letter of the day, absenteeism over periods is a serious issue in schools, according to what has been cited here. So grab yourself to find out. It will be very vital in terms of school management. Now, still in the business section, here we take a look at understanding Italy. Of course, Uganda renewed business engagement as we see that Italy wants to exploit quality issues existing in Uganda's agricultural machinery sector. That is to penetrate a market that is largely dominated by Indian Chinese products. So how that is going to be done, there is a lot. The agreement, a renewed business engagement here between Uganda and Italy. And here we see Italian products will be in position to penetrate the market that has largely been penetrated by the Indian and the Chinese product. So that is the benefit here. And now Busoga farmers get finance deal to improve sugarcane transportation. A lot has been listed in there. So as you grab yourself a copy, you'll be in position to find out. And our government to finally implement local insurance for importers. So this is good news. Now, the IRA, the Insurance Regulatory Authority, says that so far 29 life insurers have actually already joined the online portal to cover all marine related risks. So that is something there to check out. Now, still from the regional news, of course, we take a look at Come Clean on secondary schools promise. This is what, according to what the government said. And of course, 85 out of 421 sub-counties in Western region still lack secondary schools. So that is quite, that is not a favorable figure per se. So something to look into keenly. Now, how the second Trump era will test limit of presidential power. Of course, Trump's resounding victory and has called how disenchanted Americans had become with the economy, border security, and the direction of the country and its culture here. So there is a lot to be put there. And of course, the world leaders react to Trump's electoral victory. What have they said? A lot is yet to see that. And of course, here from the Scoop, we see Bobby Wine's producer starts a band in the United Kingdom. Interesting. So there is a lot there to be seen as we proceed all along. Yes. Of course, now heading into one of my favorite sections here. That is into the Scoop. That is the stream section. With a movie that is trending that you need to check out. And they say it's called Let Go. Yes, very interesting. Of course, with Josephine Bonnie Basque, part of the cast, the likes of Sigrid Johnson, Leon Mentori, they are part of the cast, and it's now streaming on Netflix. That is Let Go. So you'll get to find out that as you grab yourself a copy. Well, Time is not really on our side, but now proceeding along, switching to the new vision. Of course, we see the Uganda Coffee Development Authority gave no value for money. This is according to what the president says. Of course, agencies were a temporary measure. And now SACCO is here to get 260 billion Ugandan shillings for the GROW project. And the question is, who will run Kampala City Council Authority? 12 shortlisted here. So grab yourself a copy to find out. And of course, woman jailed 35 years over torture of baby. Tortured a baby and is being jailed for that. And of course, the bride and groom winners in Kenya for holiday has been also put here. And of course, from the Katanga side case, forensic examiner testifies. So I will look into that. Now, taxpayers get amnesty on penalties and interest. Of course, government targeting to attract between 500 billion Ugandan shillings to 1 trillion Ugandan shillings. Yes, so there is a lot to find out. And of course, here we see government outlining Uganda's expectations from the COP29. Yes, a lot has been put there. And also Uganda is set to start final HIV cure trials. The cure trials are set to kickstart off. So grab yourself to find out that. And a journalist here battles kidney failure, 6 urgent transplants. Very upset, needs to be helped here. This is Mokose, is a veteran journalist who worked, of course, with Uganda's media houses. Yeah, they have included here a lot of them. He's looking for help. And of course, the president here, in this next page, explains exactly how the Uganda Coffee Development Authority had no value for money. That is according to his opinion. That is what he said. So you can find out. And now the agencies and authorities do not work or do little work yet for us. We want to reach everybody. This is what still the president said as a result of that. So let's wait and see. Of course, the president said that by 2016, about 3,905 individuals were utilizing list 2.2 trillion Ugandan shillings, as 80,000 were managing with just 2.6 trillion. So something to look into there. And now the 12 shortly, here we take a look at the government options for civil servants for Kampala City Council Authority job. Of course, the 12 shortlisted comprise of a director of a government agency, and of course, a chief, a CAO, commissioner, or undersecretary will actually take the job. This is what the chief administrative officer, commissioner, or the undersecretary will take on the job. So the shortlisted are all here for the job. Now here, the 3 Kampala City Council Authority top jobs became vacant after President Yoweri Museveni fired Dorothy Kisaka, David Luyimbazi, and Dr. Daniel Okello. As a result, of course, following the Chitezi crisis. And of course, here we told about the new MOBS principal. Who is he? Of course, Mr. Muhwezi. Who is Muhwezi? That is the new MOBS principal. A lot has been said. So you need to grab yourself a copy to really find out this. And now SACCO's to receive 260 billion Ugandan shillings. That is the GROW funds. Of course, Osama said over 98.8 billion has been dispatched to about 1,500 applicants across the country. Yeah, so there is a lot to find out there. And of course, over 700 delegates are expected at the event. This is Uganda set to host a conference of public administrators in Africa. Yes, so there is a lot said about that. And well, that brings me to the end of the press brief. At this point in time, allow me go for a short commercial break. And of course, I'm returning with Caribbean East Africa and the international updates. Stick around.
Smart 24, driving business.
Amanya gange nze Nasoro Jamida nvira mu Kalaji era nga ndi beka mbekinga amandazi, donuts ne daddies, mbadde mbekinga ne cakes era nga maze mu weeks 2 nga traininga wano nyongeddeko obukugu kubanga mbadde nyina skills ezimu ze mbadde sirina ng'okubekinga emigaati mbadde sikimanyi, mbadde simanyi kwayisinga cake, how to manage a business, manya nti ebizibu by'aba customer, how to find a market, mbadde sibimanyi byonna, nzuula nti akatale we kali, naye mbiyize mu weeks zino 2 ze mmaze nga ndi mu training eno. Waliwo mukwano gwange yali amanyi nti mbekinga era nga akola mu stroke, ye yankubira essimu ng'ali mu kuwandiika abajja okutraininga. Nankubira essimu nange ne bampandiika ne bampita n'enzija. Obubaka bwe nnyina eri purojekiti ya GROW nti okututraininga tukuguse era naye tubuzaamuko ka GROW capital. Tubulamuko ka capital kubanga twetaaga okuba ne machines. Naye tetusobola kwetuusaako machines nga bizinensi zaffe tukyayingiza omutwalo gumu ewiiki. Tubadde tubulamu ka capital tusobole okwongera ku nnyingiza yaffe, tusobole okukola ki? We tunayongeza ku nnyingiza kitegeeza tujja kuba tusobola okugula machines. Obubaka bwempa abantu abaliko obulemu naddala ba vision. Omuntu bw'atunuulira omuntu aliko obulemu naddala obw'amaaso alowooza tasobola kufumba, ovuiki si kituufu. Mulekerawo okwenyooma, musituke, mukolere wamu, tuleme kufuuka mugugu eri abo abantu be tubeera nabo.
GROW, generating growth opportunities and productivity for women enterprises.
Turn your house into the GoTV Kids Club. Your GoTV package is your ticket to entry, and there's plenty for everyone. Discover new places, play along with wacky characters, and learn fun facts and essential skills. So get and stay connected to GoTV for 24-hour access to the GoTV Kids Club at home and on the go with GoTV Stream. GoTV. Love it.
There is only one rule you must follow in order to be a winner. Number 1, defeat the undefeatable. You, step forward. I want you to box the air until it falls down. I'm not seeing it falling in. You see it falling in. Box, harder.
Winning is hard, but with MTN Momo, it's easy. Simply pay or shop with Momo for a chance to win mobile money every day. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
If you play a game of power,
Chelsea is French.
I didn't lie to you. I only withheld the information.
Any minute I get, I'm going to tell Chelsea.
be prepared to lose it all.
I'd rather be buried alive.
Damalai makes her boldest power play.
Very dramatic.
In season 2, Monday to Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Only on Pal Magic Prime. DSTV channel 148. Go TV channel 303.
Smart 24, driving business.
Cooking oil like no other makes your meal so sweet and scrumptious. The taste of Uganda, yeah, the taste of Uganda, the taste.
Smart 24, driving business.
Yes, we'll be back from the break exactly, of course, 15 minutes to the top of your, that is of 8 a.m. Smart Means Business. Now, heading straight into our Caribbean East Africa report, kickstarting off with the Nairobi Securities Exchange, which gained 420 billion Kenyan shillings investor wealth, according to the 2024 report for the Securities Exchange. Now, investors at the Nairobi Securities Exchange were 419.5 billion richer in the 10 months to October. That is 2024, amid the renewed market confidence, especially from the domestic investors as the market rally continued. Now, investor wealth, as shown by the market cap, surged 29.2% to about 1.9 trillion at the end of October from 1.4 trillion at the beginning of the year. Now, the market was bullish with all the NSE and all share index gaining, that is at 28.9% to 108.73 points in 10 months to October. Now, the substantial growth in the overall market cap saw the benchmark relax. Now, the NSE 20 share index rise by 28% in the same period. Now, the energy and the petroleum sector saw the highest returns in capital gains with 53.5 gain year-to-year date, propelled by the massive gains from the Kenya Power and the KenGen. Now, in October alone, the market capitalization of all listed companies at the NSE grew by 182.3 billion. However, the total value of shares traded saw a 1.6 downstick to about 4.91 billion in October. That is from 4.99 billion recorded. That was in September. Now, foreign investors were net sellers, recording 569 million outflows, that is during the month, reversing the net buying position of about 28.6 million, according to what was recorded in September. Now, according to the report by the Capital Markets Authority, foreign investors scaled down on their investments at the national bourse, with about 8,520 at the end of September from 8,549 investors by the end of June 2024 and 8,614 investors at the end of 2023. Now, improved economic conditions in the country coupled with improved earnings boosted investor confidence and led to higher stock prices in 2024. However, foreign institutional investors are yet to reverse their selling strategy, maintaining a net selling position that is in the period. Now, during the 10 months to October, 34 stocks had advanced while 23 stocks declined and recovering from the 2023 lows. According to data that is from the AIB XY South Africa, the market ratio accelerated to 11.2 times. That is from about 8.5 times at the beginning of the year, mirroring that is enhanced capital gains and dividend yields at the end of the day. So that is something that we are looking at from that line. From the Kenya, of course, as the Nairobi Securities Exchange gained 420 billion Kenyan shillings. That is investor wealth. According to the 2024 report, that is what it suggested. All right, now away from that, let's switch and now take a look at Kenya. Now, of course, the report here is in line with Kenya's macadamia farmers that managed to overcome the market hurdles to embrace what we call export growth. Yes, so of course, the story here, as we kickstart off, we take a look at for James Kariuki, a macadamia farmer in central Kenya, who says this was since way back in 1997. Cultivating macadamia nuts has been a double-edged sword. So this has been the experience for quite a number of Kenyan farmers. Now, just like many of his peers, he remembers how middlemen often dictated the prices, exploiting unregulated markets to take advantage of small-scale producers. Of course, the middlemen would wait until the last minute when they were desperate to sell, then offer prices far below the market value. Now, this is according to what they actually addressed. Now, this narrative is too familiar among smallholder macadamia who have struggled for years against fluctuating prices, limited access to quality markets, and lack of regulatory support. Now, unlike traditional cash crops, macadamia nuts require specialized care, and the timing of the harvest is critical for maintaining quality. Now, in the recent years, the Kenyan government has stepped in, implementing regulations on macadamia harvest. That is regulations on the macadamia harvest timing to ensure what we call the quality and prevent the export of immature produce. Now, these policies, as we see, have helped farmers secure better prices and have begun to level the playing field by curbing early harvest practices that previously flooded the market and depressed prices. However, the new regulatory environment has also introduced complexities as farmers now strive to align their harvest schedules with government guidelines while aiming to earn a fair income, as a result of that. But despite these hurdles, some farmers are thriving and finding renewed hope. According to what I'm seeing here, John Kagwe, another macadamia farmer, has experienced positive changes over the past 6 years. Now, these direct market access programs provide farmers with reliable channels to sell their produce while also offering training on how to comply, that is with export standards. Now, given that macadamia is a delicate crop, according to my report here, quality is paramount, especially for export to markets in Europe and Asia in particular. Now, programs aimed at empowering farmers through certification, training, and quality assurance are opening doors that were previously inaccessible. Of course, this is according to what was said by one of the macadamia farmers in Kenya. However, this influx of Chinese capital is not without its pitfalls. Now, concerns about the debt dependency have merged, with countries like Zambia and Kenya grappling with high consequences of what we call heavy borrowing. Yeah, so critics now, in this incident, critics urge that this economic reliance can infringe, that is upon national sovereignty, potentially giving China leverage over political decision. Now, the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank and its lending practices are also raising alarms about long-term implications for governance and accountability. Now, in contrast, the United States presents itself as a partner that is emphasizing governance, democracy, and what we call maybe sustainable development. But programs such as the African Growth and Opportunity Act encourage trade, of course, by allowing trade-free access to the United States market for failing behind its engagement strategies. So allowing access to the U.S. markets for eligible African countries. But of course, yet despite these initiatives, many observers urge the United States is falling behind in its engagement strategies compared to China's aggressive investments. So failing engagement strategies, and now we're comparing it to China's aggressive investments. Now, the debate over these partnerships is not, of course, merely an abstract exercise. It has profound implications for ordinary Africans like me and you. Of course, considering entrepreneurs, local entrepreneurs committing, attempting to expand their businesses. For example, it could be agriculture. And what if the locals align themselves with the Chinese partners? They actually might gain access to advanced technology and what we call infrastructure support, enabling these farmers to actually scale up their operations. But of course, this could also face the pressure to adhere to the terms that favor the Chinese interests, leading to more potential exploitation. Of course, this has been witnessed in terms of the strings attached to the loans obtained from the new colonial powers of this age, if I may call them that way. Now, on the other hand, if you take a look at partnering with an American firm, we've seen, for instance, if a Ugandan agriculture practitioner decides to partner with a Chinese firm, chances are high that he can actually have access to technology. That is evident. The only disadvantage comes in line with the terms and conditions for that support. But now let's take a look at the United States of America. If I choose to partner with the United States of America, you partner with a firm, you're Uganda, but you're partnering with the United States of America firm, it could provide you with more equitable terms and support for sustainable practices. But the financial backing might be less accessible or slower to materialize. Now, the choice you make is not just about for the business, but also for the livelihoods of your employees and the local community's economic health. So, with America, according to the analysts, it's more of there is less access to the funds and they may take some time to materialize, according to that. But the only advantage with partnering with that American firm could provide you with what we call equitable access to terms and support for sustainable practices. Now, data reveals if we take a look at the compelling trends of partnerships, taking a look at the African economies and their relations with either China or the United States of America. According to a 2021 report by McKinsey and Company, African economies linked to Chinese investments grew at a faster rate than those with limited Chinese investment. This is according to a 2021 report. So African economies that linked to Chinese investments grew faster. Now, this trend suggests that while the risks of debt and dependency are significant, the potential for growth is also substantial. However, the United States has a track record of fostering innovation through partnerships. Of course, for instance, the United States Agency for International Development, that is the USAID, programs which have successfully launched initiatives in sectors, most especially like health and education, contributing to improved outcomes for communities. Now, the Power Africa initiative aims to create access to electricity across the continent, directly addressing critical infrastructure gaps. Now, as the U.S. elections unfolded, of course, the outcome, like we saw, Donald Trump, this definitely is going to significantly impact the U.S. and Africa relations, particularly regarding trade agreement and foreign aid distribution. Of course, that is something that we should anticipate. But in conclusion, I'll conclude by saying this, that the debate over Africa's alignment with China or the United States of America is a little bit of a complex and fraught with quite a number of implications, if you take a look at it from that line. Now, for Ugandans per se and other Africans, it is very crucial to recognize the long-term effects of these partnerships, you know, the partnerships that we're talking about on individual and on individual lives and also the communities at the same time. Of course, by evaluating the pros and cons of each alliance, the African nations can be in position to navigate geopolitical landscape more effectively, ensuring that their choices can actually foster what we call the sustainable development and enhance national sovereignty. That is very key and very purposeful. So it's a decision up to the African nations to uphold. Well, let's go for the break. And of course, I'm returning with a business update. And we have our business tips and quotes also into the pipeline and other quotes that I'll be sharing. But of course, the leading quote of the day will be the Smart Means Business quote of the day today, Friday. Stick around.
Smart 24, driving business.
Amabara nibanyetaye baziwe Rusiya Nyenduga Kyegegwa district nkabanda sambaire ninkoro mulimo gwa saluni mazire mu mwaka gumu kabando wa saluni narora agent owaito Kyegegwa yeja yampikaho yagamba aliyo project ebakweta grow gundi World Bank bagambire basero y'abakazi abali mu byara bena ma business gebye mikono babaleta kunu Kampala Malaika kusoma then babahereza certificate babongera habukugo bayene nayo naikiriza yampandika era nkasemerwa muno nizire hano mazire hokwezi kumu nyegere kukora za dreads zimbaire ntamanyire abantu babani bazinsaba muno ntakuzimanya naiga kukora makeup era n'abandi begere bankora ka makeup hati ninjagarukayo ngende musaluni yange nkore byembaire ntamanyire binyegire kunuka dreads zeze cyangu uyivu ezokora n'engaro then nja kusoma nja kubundafuna chance nja kutunga n'abantu abali mu cyaro abatakumanya skills ezitwegere kuno nabo mbarabiremu kugamba nko kubayikirize bakatsera bakatuhereza lyaga amagezi nayo ntagayikalira nyenka nyegese habakaza abali mu cyaro abandi bayitukande hatekizibu ebintu bimwe bitwegere itwe ngaito mu cyaro haturi biena kamasanyarazi obankaki baitu mu cyaro cyaitu tigaliyo government we kutuyamba hekatera ya masanyarazi ntugisaba Kyegegwa turiyo baitu tuina masanyarazi ekiriyaho government we kutuyambe katera ho mukone katera ya masanyarazi sakore bitwegere tutunguka mu bizinesi zaitu nzikurakurana kandi nekichweka nikisemera. So nimalira kusima Malaika Institute okutusomesa n'abeegisa baitu na project ya Grow na World Bank kuteeka mu sente bebale muno.
Grow, generating growth opportunities and productivity for women enterprises.